that struck me this morning with the keynote was how often Steve Case kept coming back to the concept of talent and how important that was in the development of startups and startup communities. At oDesk, our mission is to make remote work mainstream. That is, for employers of all sizes and types, no matter where they are, to be able to access people regardless of where they live, and to make it possible for workers, no matter where they live, to access the kind of jobs that they want. And the question that we ask ourselves is, why should geography matter when it comes to work? What we have is a marketplace for online work, as well as a remote management and payment platform. We've got somewhere, my marketing person would not like that I don't know this number, but somewhere north of 1 million contractors on the system. We have a management platform that allows you to work with people as though they're with the same level of accountability and trust that you'd have if they were in your office with you. And we have a payment platform that allows you to pay people regardless of where they live in a hassle-free and secure way. We think that some of the trends going on in the world right now are very favorable toward this vision taking flight. Outsourcing is no longer controversial. It's accepted and really expected for companies to be considering it as a talent acquisition model. With the economy, out here, the economy is hot, but that's not the case everywhere. And I think the psychological effects of the economy remain, where it's tough for people to commit to full-time staff, local staff, but they still need to get work done. And obviously, all the cloud tools now, just working together online is easier than ever. So we think that means that this market is ripe for continued growth. We've been around about 7 years. You can see our growth there in terms of hours worked. Most work on oDesk is done by the hour. And in April last month, we did just over $16 million of work performed through the oDesk system. That's about 1.6 million hours worked by 30,000 people in 136 countries. So that's about all the countries in the world that you could reasonably expect someone to work online in. There's at least a couple people working through oDesk. And for this audience, this conference, the 5 South Asian countries make up about 36% of our work done. So I did want to just take my last minute or two to talk a little bit about why this might matter to startups and entrepreneurs at this conference. And we believe that oDesk solves a real pain for startup companies. It's hard to find good help. No matter where you live. I think out in Silicon Valley, there's lots of people with lots of skills, but the market's competitive. And in other places, the people with the skills that you need might simply not be in your local area. And if they are, if you're in a pinch, you're going to pay a lot for those skills. I think maybe most importantly for startup companies is the third point, really, which is that bringing on a full-time person is a big commitment. You've got a lot of fixed costs. It's hard to make a move. It's just challenging. And the result is that the lean startup movement, you try to stay as lean as possible. We think that we solve this by providing an alternative method for people to source talent, source work in a more flexible way. So I'll end with just an anecdote from our own business. We run on our own, we eat our own steak, what's the cliche? Only about 1/5 of our workers are local or full-time employees, and not all those 52 are actually here. Every department at oDesk uses remote contractors to varying degrees, and it's very, very efficient. All in, if you include all the overhead, all the fixed costs, it's about 1/3 the cost for a remote worker than as someone local, and we can scale up and down as demand swings. So on the right side of this slide, you see our customer service department, which is an example of how we run. We've got 36 people in our support group, of which 3 are full-time. So the director of the service group is here. Our manager of the support team is in Tennessee. She's an employee. She's been with us about 6 years. One of our 4 team leads on the billing side is in Texas. She's been with us about 4. The other 33 people are remote, mostly in the Philippines, but not all. And we found this a very effective and both cost-effective, but also high-quality way to grow our support team. Thank you to TiE for having us here, and I would just ask everyone, as you look to grow your team and acquire talent, ask yourself, why should geography matter? Thank you.